Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Peanut Butter and Triggered. I'm one of your hosts, Jay Eastwood. I got another guy here by the name of
Scott.
And we have a very special guest today by the name of... No, I'm just kidding. He's actually not our host. So we actually have another guy by the name of Ben.
Hey, LMAO.
Yeah, you remember that guy? He was the guy that came back from the dead because he actually did die.
Baby.
Yeah. So we actually have a few special things to talk about. Ben, would you like to introduce us to the agenda?
Yeah, sure. I'd be honored. We're gonna talk about E3. Some exciting news there. Some major news coming out. Yeah, we got that. We're gonna talk about some video game soundtracks and scores that make us, feel a certain type of way, and we're really excited to get this information to everyone.
That was beautiful.
It makes you feel a little tingle.
No, that's my diabetes.
That's sad.
The quiet laughter from our live studio audience.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but we actually do have a live studio audience now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that we've gone this far in episode 6 and we already have a live studio audience. 30 Facebook page likes and they give you a live studio audience.
Yeah, oh yeah, speaking of any social media, we actually we're getting a little bit of traction with social media, and we'd like to say thank you to everybody, especially Javad. The dude's the homie on our Instagram, and he is liking every photo.
Well,
is that the dude with all the cool pictures?
All the cool pictures.
I love you, Javad.
Yeah, Javad's a cool dude. He's always out there in the wilderness. He knows how to cook up some meat chicken. I've even seen him out there with a hatchet, and he's like cutting some firewood or something.
But we've got to talk about that smile.
Oh, Javad has the most heavenly smile.
Dude.
Yeah, I said it.
We also have to shout out Patrick, who's been commenting on our Facebook, and Raven. She's also been posting things we should do and talk about too. So that's
like what?
Well, she knew that that soundtracks were coming up, and her thing was Secret of Mana is her favorite soundtrack.
So would you say that this is perhaps one of those things is especially done for this person? What's this person's name again?
Raven.
Anything for my princess.
So as you can see, we have a new soundboard. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I'll be your engineer for the next 5 seconds.
And continuing as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just didn't want to elect myself to do that, so,
We did it. Cool.
Exactly. Well, you want to introduce news? We'll talk a little bit about news. There's a whole bunch of news, boys and girls.
Yeah, so I think one of the more important pieces of news, and I didn't want to leave these dudes out because I think that they were a huge part of Ben's childhood and his major adulthood now, but the Backstreet Boys have officially come out with a brand new song. It's called Don't Go Breaking My Heart, and it's not the Don't Go Breaking My Heart that you're thinking. This is a hot, fresh, new take, an original song.
Hot and fresh.
Just hot, wet, fresh,
the
whole, yeah.
God, that song's wet.
Yeah. It's steamy.
I don't like any of that.
Well, you don't have to like it, but it's happened already.
Don't go breaking my heart.
Yeah, you know what? If they were royalty free, I would totally play one for you. But you know what? I think I'm just gonna urge you to go out there and listen to it yourself. If I could make any sort of comparison, I would say it sounds like a really recent Maroon 5. That's the vibe I'm getting. I don't like it, but I'm liking that they're back in the limelight.
That's real triggering. I don't like it.
Oh no, I don't like it.
Hasn't that song title been used, but at least by 78
Don't break
artists?
my heart, my ache and break my heart.
That's Billy Ray Cyrus. But I thought you were talking about the. I want to say it was like a. There you go. Yeah.
It's like a 70s tune, right?
It's like a disco thing, yeah.
What's up with these BB Boys not being original? Wait, BS. The BS Boys. When I got BB Boys. Sorry. Going off kilter here.
Well, these BB Boys are a little original here. It's just the title of the song that's been done. Kind of like how like every band has had like some song about California. It just happens. It's there's always something that's going to be redone, okay? So just relax, Ben.
Calm down before you throw shade.
Yeah,
Garth
please.
Brooks' new song, California Dreamin' Out of Texas.
Best song ever.
What's
Well,
that mean?
So that's the big news out of the. I want to say I don't even have a really good name for this particular segment in our news.
We should think of something. Send something in if you think of it.
Yeah, for the love of God, do
Where
it.
do we send it? Can I just tell you?
Yeah, shout it out on our Facebook, shout it out on our slide into my DMs on Instagram, and you can even email us at pbtpod@gmail.com.
See.
Yeah.
We should probably check that. Do you check that?
No, I've never checked it.
I've never checked it. We should probably check it.
The DMs?
No, I check my DMs regularly.
email.
Anything good in there? I heard those things are pretty risky.
Well, they're all right.
He just keeps that to himself.
No, I'm not.
You may see a penis or something.
And then I think other pieces of news that we got going on. E3 is coming up, yeah.
Yeah, E3.
So,
it's June 13th or something. I think
there's some stuff
Los Angeles.
there's some stuff that's come up before E3's come out. I think mainly because they're sources of controversy. So specifically, No Man's Sky is receiving the much awaited. Man, you are taking off your clothes, Ben, aren't you? If you heard that was a long zip.
That track got me going.
Jeez. Okay, well, No Man's Sky is getting a much anticipated multiplayer update that's basically going to give us what Hello Games has promised us from the beginning. And hey, it only took 2 years, right?
Yeah, only 2 years, and finally we get No Man's Sky.
Good for them, man.
Like promised originally.
Hey, and if you follow us on our on our Instagram, I still have my copy, so I'll give it a shot. I'll try it out.
Try it out.
I will.
And some other news that I found, Kingdom Hearts finally has a playable demo.
Oh.
How long has it been? I believe it's like 7 years.
This will be the third?
Yep. Well, there's like a 2.5. I believe there's like a 2.25 and all this other stupid shit. But I saw Wreck-It Like Ralph. That's one of them in Toy Story.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
I can get down with some Toy Story action. I've never played any of those games. Not once. Haven't picked it up.
No, they're pretty good. I only played one.
Are they aimed at children?
No.
It's like Disney.
It's Final Fantasy mixed with Disney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It's super
I don't
weird,
get the,
but it works.
What do you call it? Collab? Is that a collab?
A collab.
Not really a collab. That's a
I
convergence.
mean, that's like the abbreviated version of
It's
collaboration.
what you call like the Avengers when they all came together. What do you call that? There's a word.
A symbol.
No, that's what they say when they get all ready. It's oh god, there's been so many memes. You guys, you're really letting me down.
I don't know what you're
including
talking
myself. There's a word for
What
it.
is a
Let's
meme?
move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just lost 3 listeners.
Oh.
Our only 3 listeners. We lost our audience.
What else do we have there, sir?
I thought there was something else important.
There are a couple of games that I'm highly anticipating. The Forest, if anybody's ever played it on PC, I think Scott, you've played a little bit of that.
Yeah, I played a lot of The Forest.
A lot of bit of that.
A lot
Anyways,
of hours, right?
Yeah, like 100 hours probably.
It's a pretty good amount of time with something.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's interesting because the map's always the same, but there's really a lot of control in order to build your base up, and you find a lot of stuff. And the biggest thing that it has going for it is the zombie AI or whatever.
That's crazy.
Whatever it's called.
They're like feral humans, right? They're not really zombies. They're cannibals.
Yeah, that's what they are. They're
Tribes
cannibals.
on an island. I mean, yeah.
It's weird wherever you go. So if you go like into a camp, for example, and you steal something, and then later you'll come back and they will set up like an effigy with like a human head on it.
Yeah.
And they mean different things. And when I was playing, I'm sure they figured it out now. No one knew what they meant.
So for those of you who have never even heard of The Forest, imagine that I think your son dies or something like that, and then you are on an island. Yeah, he's missing, and you're on an island, and you find out that there's all these tribes of cannibals that are out to kill you, and then you have to forage and fend for yourself through this entire story.
Imagine Castaway, but only with cannibals and a missing son.
And no Tom Hanks or Wilson.
Yeah.
There might be an Easter egg.
There's tennis balls. A lot of tennis balls.
Well then.
Dude, the thing I thought was coolest though is how like they can be timid.
Yeah.
Like they don't just rush.
They're a little shy.
No. They are.
They're a little shy.
And you can use like fire, and you can like really scare them.
They really want to get to know you before they attack, so they scout you out. You know, they see what's up. And if they see that you're worthy, they'll come eat you.
There's some interesting things, like if you see one with like a flashlight on his head, it's a scout, and he'll come up and see you.
Does he like duct tape a flashlight to his head?
I don't remember what he does.
technology?
He has he has like a light on his head though, and if he sees you and he takes off, you need to catch him because he'll go back and tell people where you are.
He's
if
a
you
big
kill
Nancy.
him,
Right, and some of them will like kind of I guess, like, view from afar and, like, scout, like, your whole, like, defense and all that stuff and tell whoever they need to tell, and then they'll come back and ambush you or something.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's a really, like, adaptive and highly intelligent AI.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it, too. I'm in love with it.
Yeah. Do you know if it's going to be a full price release?
I think so.
Because it's like $20 or $30 on Steam.
I would imagine it's going to be a full price release, but the other game that kind of shares the sort of, I guess, origin from PC is Rust. That's going to be another one's coming out.
Same a lot of Rust.
Sort of idea as far as, like, you know, foraging and kind of like fending for yourself. But imagine being in a server with 400 other people in, like, a very massive open world, and you could do a lot of different things by, like, finding blueprints and you start off naked, and then you're
literally
it's up
naked,
to you.
like your dick hanging out, like you can see the dick hangling, like dangling.
It's hanging and it's dangling.
Yeah, you start with a rock, a torch, and like a bandage.
And a soft dick.
Well, I think.
A soft dick.
Well, I mean I think that all depends, right? But I think in the review that I read about, they only give you a rock.
Oh, well, maybe it's changed. It's been a long time since I played that game.
My memory's a bit rusty.
Yeah. Oh.
That was great.
Daddy,
Yeah.
But it's a good game. Like, I used to, whenever I played on this server, the map was always the same. So there was always the same kind of place where people were, and it was like 100-man servers or something. And I would be decked out with like a sniper rifle, and I would go into the middle of this valley and set a fire and like go back, and people would always investigate the fire because they want to loot. They see a fire at night and they want to loot whoever's there, and they'd show up at the fire and I'd shoot them from far and steal all their shit.
Yet again, Scott proving he's an absolute psychopath.
Basically, he's saying he's a god and everybody's a turd.
This other time, it was pitch dark, and there's this little house, and there's these two like kids in there, and I could hear them talking in there. They were butt naked, so I knew they were noobs. And the door was swinging open and closed.
Dig in that hole, Scotty.
And every time the door would open, I would shoot at them through this open door, and they'd scream because it's proximity mics. And then eventually the door swung open, and one flew out. It's this naked guy who flew out of the front door straight to the darkness. It was funny.
I spent my day shooting naked boys. What are you doing naked in there?
True story. That happened.
Well,
I guess that ends our podcast.
So, what else do we have by the way of news?
There's one other thing that I saw and read. Let me pull her up right
I'm
now.
so sweaty right now. Your apartment is ridiculous. I'm like steaming. I think I'm just really nervous because you guys are...
I know, we're big names now.
I know, and I was gone for like, 3 episodes? Now I'm back, and it just...
I think you've been gone for 2.
Well, you guys kind of like... took over, and
Rage 2, that's the other one.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
Even though...
Wow, Ben just perked right up and creamed in his pants.
Yeah. I'm not feeling so nervous anymore. The thing I like about it is... excuse me. The thing I do not like about it, I got that wrong. I liked
right.
the original. It felt more dark and gritty. This feels like...
Mad Max.
Yeah, and it's like super like...
Yeah.
It's like almost corny because like it doesn't... I don't know. The other one was just like dark and fucked up. And this one's like... You want to party, guys?
Yeah.
Chainsaws and like... I don't know. Like the theme music was like fucking Dropkick Murphys or something. I don't know.
Oh, nobody likes Dropkick Murphys anymore.
Unless you're Irish, then you have to.
Or
if
you're Ben.
if you're the Dropkick Murphys yourself, you probably like yourself.
They probably don't.
They for sure hate themselves.
That one song of theirs played 14 times in Departed. It was like the theme song of the movie.
Yeah.
Going down to Boston or something.
Scorsese actually like handpicked that song.
I think they just ran out of budget and they're like, we got to loop this thing 14 fucking times. Let's pick a good one. And he heard it. He just wanted to punch someone in the face. And he's like, perfect.
No, you know that does set the mood for how I feel in a certain area of the movie where I just want to punch people in the face. I think the same could be said about games, right?
Yeah, you just want to punch someone in the face.
Did you just segue?
I've tried. I was making direct eye contact with Scott. He didn't pick up on it.
It's like, yeah, music.
Video game music. That's what
if all of you haven't picked up on this tremendous segue, we're going to move right into music and games.
Yep. And the first thing we're going to talk about with music and games is what we want out of music, what it should do to you when you're playing, the score specifically. Score specifically.
Yeah, this one specifically scores. What are you looking out for in a score, Ben?
I want it to deliver emotion. I want it to make me feel and capture the moment, because that's what you should do.
Dear God, you make it sound so intimate. Like, do you want candles lit?
I like it to capture the moment.
Is that what I sound like?
I want it to put the lotion on its skin.
You guys are making it weird, and it wasn't supposed to go there. That's fine.
Sorry.
There's a lot of games that do it really well, and Ben brought up right before the show Dark Souls, and how it kind of builds up and it's quiet. You can go ahead and talk about it.
Well, yeah, in Dark Souls, my favorite game of all time, you don't get any music until you come upon a boss. And I think that's pretty cool, because you think it's weird at first. You're like, dude, there's no fucking music. It's just sword slashing and like things grunting. And you're like, okay, I guess this is the game. And then you hit your first boss. I guess with the first game, though, with the Asylum Demon, you hit him pretty quick.
Yeah.
But you knew it was serious, because that music was like, you're like, oh my God, this is formidable.
Yeah.
And that's the essence it captured. In that game, the music is very formidable.
Well, and now that you say that, the only other time there's music is bonfires. Like when you hit a bonfire, it's like dun dun dun.
Did it even do that in Dark Souls 1?
I don't remember. It's been a minute.
Might have. I know in Dark Souls 3 you get like a legit music that plays, especially when
it like makes you feel good. It's like the Resident Evil music of like.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
it's rest.
Yeah, it's like
you finally get a reprieve from the onslaught of enemies. I sounded smart, huh?
Yeah. No,
Why are you using those SAT words, man?
Onslaught. Look at me.
No, but it's true. It does capture it really well. And I put, like I mentioned every single episode, The Last of Us. Like the music and that, like, little classical guitar, 12-string guitar the guy uses.
Did you watch the segment of him making it? Mm-hmm. It's really awesome.
No, it's amazing. I highly recommend, if you want to see how the guy makes The Last of Us score, go watch it.
And those violins at the end, man, I'm telling you, I've beat the game probably 3, maybe 4 times. And every time those violins start at the end, I swear to God, I get a tear in my eye. Like, it just, you feel like you're there in that moment. You feel so much, and that music really helped you develop into those characters and, like, have a love and appreciation
Exactly.
for them.
Which is truly what a score should do, right? Just like in a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know I made fun of Ben earlier about it, but like that's what everybody. Sorry, Ben. That's what everybody actually wants to like hear out of a score. Is like it's supposed to make you feel a certain way, and it's supposed to put you in a particular mindset. So
now when you say it, it's okay. Cool, man. No worries.
For the onslaught.
Where's Alex Jones when I need him? There you are, Alex.
Yeah, it's supposed to make you feel a certain way, just like that did.
Liberal.
Okay, fine, God. Jesus. So
well, there's a lot of them, and some of them are more emotional, tied to your emotions. Other ones just are kind of cool, like. Metal Gear Solid 4 has a really solid soundtrack. Your favorite game there, Jay?
Yeah, and I think the cool thing about Metal Gear Solid 4 is that you're getting music generally throughout the entire game. Like, yeah, there will be like silent parts and stuff, but like for the most part, what I appreciate about it is it's always setting the mood. There's always a pace to it, and whether it's a boss fight or whether it's like some point in time where you alert somebody, it's giving you that adrenaline rush, so it's doing its job well.
The secondary thing that usually a game score wants to do is it wants to tell you something. So, like, for example, in Dark Souls, when you step in and you hear the music, you know, oh, it's boss time. Or like in the last, or what's the name of that game? I can't remember the name of the game I was going to talk about, but it tells you, you know, bad guys are coming, or it's safe, like in Resident Evil. Okay, this is a safe area. I feel like good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you know, as much hate as we give to No Man's Sky, when you trigger those particular like robots that are patrolling those like sentinels, there's music that actually tells you, oh crap, I've just triggered the sentinel alarm.
Yeah, exactly.
And then as soon as like you kind of fall off the radar, then it starts to fade out a little bit. Same thing goes for when you're like pirating another person's ship.
Or like Metal Gear Solid, we talked about. Someone sees you that you don't know that they saw you. It's like,
yeah,
music.
And then even like during evasion mode too, like some of the percussion kind of starts to die down, and some of the additional peripheral instruments start to kind of fade out too.
So not only does it build a moment, but it like adds to the gameplay because it tells the player something.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of, before we move on, speaking of Metal Gear Solid 4, I just thought of this. It's been a minute since I thought about this. That has the weirdest intro to any game ever. You remember you're watching the TV and you're changing the channel and there's like all these weird cooking shows on and shit?
Yeah.
That's weird.
No, I liked it. Because it sets the stage for a dystopian future that's not so far off.
No other game's ever done anything like that I remember.
No, I can't.
When the
think of
game's
any
installing and you're starting it up, you're like literally watching like a TV, and there's like maybe 5 different channels, and each channel has something else weird on it, like a weird cooking show, and I don't remember what else is there.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But anyway,
for it being my favorite game, I don't really remember that until you said it.
Buddy.
Yeah, sorry.
I think another thing a score is important is how well it's going to resonate with you in the long haul. Mm-hmm. Like years and years from now, if that song started to play, am I going to go, holy shit? Like with Zelda.
Yeah.
I hear...
I know you're thinking you're going out the door with the sword and you're chopping bushes and shit.
And like I was at like a bar or something and someone played that and I was just like, hey, you guys! And got really excited. And that score succeeded.
Yeah.
Oh, am I not...
Yeah, there you go.
Can you not hear me?
There you go.
And then the other games that I can think about that really didn't hit that mark were WWF No Mercy. Those songs were so annoing.
Was this a score or a soundtrack?
This was a score. The main menu music was like a super like terrible like hip hop. Really, I can't even really describe it because it's not even hip hop. It's just like it's just noises, man. It sucked, and it kept repeating the same verse or the same lyrics during the entire thing. It was diggity dog. Yeah.
I think that sounds pretty cool.
Well, I beg to differ.
Dog?
Well, okay.
Two fun words.
At the time, I hated it, and now I kind of hate it. But now that you say it, I kind of like it. I'm flip flopping again, man.
Dude, that's your thing.
I know.
You're like a politician,
and immediately you're like, "Oh, wait a minute."
Wait, did
wait a
you
minute, I
guys
actually
just
like that.
insult me about this? I'm changing my mind here.
Yeah.
You do that a lot.
All right, guys, you don't have to make fun of me.
Calm down, studio audience.
Another absolutely horrible one is, I wish I could play these, but in Resident Evil, in the director's cut, in the basement, has some of the worst music ever. Imagine like trombones or horns or something like that have been ran through a compressor like 15 times, and it's so grating.
It reminds me of when somebody overdubbed the Jurassic Park theme with that weird like harpsichord thing. Yeah, it was terrible.
But that one's really horrible, and also Yoshi's Story. Like, go listen to Yoshi's Story theme music, and you'll cry. It's so bad.
Yeah, no, I cried.
Yeah, it's just like The Last of Us.
Different way.
Yeah, different way.
Well, you know, one time that like music or scores in a video game that did get like tremendously compressed or truncated, and it still ended up working was GoldenEye.
Yeah,
I'm sure everybody can remember at least one song from GoldenEye and have like a great appreciation for it.
I just think of like the file folders, like through the menus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can't even do it, but you know what
No, go ahead.
You're
We'll wait.
thinking it.
Go ahead and scat.
I can't do it.
All right, no more scatting. So I mean, I think that scores in general, like it's tough to actually like pinpoint some scores, but like ones that I can instantly think of would be Skyrim. I've already mentioned GoldenEye. Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero is one of those racing games that throughout the entire game you have like a solid score of music that again sets the mood, but like it changes, it's dynamic. So if you're in a race, like it's almost providing that adrenaline rush for you, but if you're in the main menu, you have like cool like electronic music that's kind of like setting the pace for whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah. Can you guys think of any that you can remember that? I think like Medal of Honor was another good one, right?
Yeah, Medal of Honor. If you have like Apple Music, just go download the Medal of Honor Frontline soundtrack. It's super solid. They had a full orchestra and a full choir, and the music's super good. There's one level specifically called Arnhem, which is a city, and it's just like this high-pitched voice singing in the background, and all the rubble is destroyed, and like you're fighting Nazis, but you have like this feeling. It makes you feel like, wow, I'm like in someone's home right now fighting Nazis. It's not just like makes you feel like you're in a war.
That was an excellent
not in war,
machine gun.
It was.
Yeah, wow, I'm gonna get that on a soundbite.
I think we're forgetting one of the most probably well-recognized ones in the history of video game scores. Can we guess?
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Nope. Halo.
Oh, yeah.
Halo has one of the most easily recognizable scores.
Yeah.
That main menu score just...
It was like some like
so
really
good.
good like 5-part harmony, right?
Yeah, beautiful. And I could not hear it for 5 years, and I could probably still get close to that.
Oh, when you just sang that, I thought that was an actual clip from the game.
Yeah,
Thank
YouTube.
you.
Thanks. No worries.
That was I
worries.
had a PlayStation, never had an Xbox, and only recently played through Halo, and it still resonates with me. Even though I didn't own that game, just hearing that music, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know this.
You were not a Halo fan, huh?
Oh, I was never an Xbox anything fan.
So, I know this. I should have said this in the news section, but did you guys hear about this new Halo thing? This new Halo debacle?
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Okay, so basically, this new Halo project is going to require nothing less than a 130-inch cabinet, an arcade cabinet, and it'll have to support a 4K screen. It's outrageous. Unless I read that wrong. It's like a 130-inch 4K monitor or something like that. And it'll have
It's got to be a projector. There's no way it's a monitor.
Oh my god! I don't know what the hell it is, but it's gonna cost like a fortune, and like the normal person
So
will
it'll be
not
like
be able
David
to enjoy
Buster's
it.
or something? You think?
Yeah, probably.
Hey, we got one real close.
Yeah, and they have that dope Tomb Raider game.
You talked about it.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it was so fun.
God.
It was
Should
great.
Stop in there then sometime.
We should go.
Yeah, and then I'll beat you
Let's
guys
do
at
a
nothing but
buddy
net.
No, I probably won't even try.
We do team builders there on occasion.
No word stuff. I feel like I had something super important to say. Was that a fart soundbite?
No.
Okay.
It's the dude.
I'll talk about my two favorite games. Soundtracks are Earthbound and Chrono Trigger. Throwing it back to the SNES. Well, I'm depressed, and they might just resonate really well with me personally because they remind me of that game, and I'm like, oh yeah, I love that game. Although everyone loves that game who played it.
Chrono Trigger. What exactly was Chrono Trigger?
It was a Super Nintendo game where you traveled through time.
Right, that's the one that you were talking about that like your grandmother had, and it's like still in its original box and stuff, and you bust a nut over it.
Yeah, so I have. So when my grandma died, she left a whole bunch of Super Nintendo games. No, it's fine. A bunch of Super Nintendo and Nintendo games, or Super Nintendo games with boxes, and so I have like an OG Earthbound in box. And I went to CD Game Exchange the other day, and I was like, "How much is that worth?" And he said that if it has all the pieces into it, it could be worth up to $750. And so I was like, well, I have all the pieces, but the strategy guide's in really bad shape. And he said that if I went in there, starting trade would be like $200. And he said it'd go up from there depending on what I had. Like I have an original Chrono Trigger in box, an original Super Mario RPG, like all these super rare Super Nintendo games that my grandma just left to me. So yeah.
And your grandmother was a gamer.
She was a hardcore gamer. She'd play through Chrono Trigger and Earthbound and Super Mario RPG. She loved Secret of Mana, yeah.
Dude, my grandmother just makes me breakfast whenever I visit her. Like, she doesn't know
never made
anything
me
about
breakfast,
video
though.
games.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so
Breakfast is really
it's a trade-off.
What's your
Bacon's
grandmother
delicious.
like, Ben?
I have two. One sucks, one's cool.
Is one of them Meemaw?
No.
What the hell is a Meemaw? Is this like a
it's
weird...
a racist grandma.
My racist grandma was named Nanny.
Okay, so... This might be like a weird white people thing, but like... what the hell's a Nana?
It's a racist grandma.
No, that's Meemaw.
Oh, that's Meemaw.
And then Papaw.
Oh yeah.
Meemaw and Papaw coming.
Why not just grandmother and grandfather?
Because
Like,
in
what
the
is that?
northwest where we live, grandma and grandpa's the regular thing. If you're in the south and you dislike suffrage, then
women's suffrage.
Women's suffrage, then you're a Meemaw or Peepaw.
And then, so I had Nanny, Granny, and Papa, or Pawpaw, and Granddaddy. Granddaddy was cool. He had long legs. He'd get to you quick when you misbehaved.
He had long legs.
Granddaddy did.
And he liked to whip you when you misbehaved.
He did. He cracked the belt. He'd take the belt and get the loop. Go. It didn't go pop. But
Come here, boy. I'm gonna give you some alcoholism.
that was
Good
just my
God.
regular father.
Okay, so I hope there's no quiz, because that went in one ear and out the other.
That's the south for you.
Easy.
Oh, sorry.
Papaw.
Well, is there anything else we'd like to say about sound? Oh, soundtrack specifically, we need to talk about Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto always has super solid
Oh,
soundtracks.
dude, soundtracks in video games,
We haven't really gone over soundtracks.
We haven't gone over any of that. We just did scores so far.
That's why we're here, and that's why we're talking about it.
Your segues suck, bud.
No, you ruined it. If we would have just kept talking, they wouldn't have been a problem.
That wasn't a segue.
So soundtracks.
Soundtracks I can instantly think of would be any Tony Hawk game, actually. So it started off with like the very first Tony Hawk game, like that stupid Primus song, Jerry was a race car driver. That's the one. Yeah, nope, that's the one.
That could be any song.
And then all the way up until like Tony Hawk Proving Ground that we talked about in a previous episode. It features one of Ben's favorites, Guns N' Roses. It features one of my favorites and one of Ben's favorites, The Cure. I don't know why you hate The Cure.
Jay's who has poor taste in almost everything.
Almost everything.
That's my radio guy voice.
Well, anyways, so I like The Cure. I think there are several people out there that like The Cure.
I like certain Cures, not that one. Like polio was a good one.
That was a decent little Cure. Hey, LMAO.
If you don't like dad jokes, you can get the fuck out, Grandpapa Daddy.
Grandpapa Daddy.
On it, baby.
You should do a whole episode in like your South accent sometime.
We were gonna do a whole day of work as Jersey people. You know what you think about, huh? You want to throw that?
You want one of these right here? Throw this in right now.
That's like
so
South End, Jersey.
We're gonna edit all of that out. No, we're not.
Don't you dare.
No, well, back to the soundtrack of Tony Hawk Proving Ground. Like they even had like cool screamo bands. I don't know if anybody's ever
My
felt that way about
Chemical
screamo bands, but
That's not screamo. That's goth pop.
yeah, get it right.
Try it out.
When
goth
I
pop.
was a young boy.
That's spot on.
And then Grand Theft Auto 5 has like really good mixtures of 90s hip hop. It has really good mixtures of like butt rock. That's the technical term for it.
Define butt rock for us.
No, I won't.
I always remember playing San Andreas and just driving a truck through like the desert, and it's like, oh, I went through a desert on a horse with no name.
Yeah.
Felt good to get out of the rain.
My favorite was flying an airplane with Tom Petty's Running Down a Dream. That was tight.
Well, I like that not only they had good soundtracks, but they had the DJs for each station who provided hilarious and comical commentary.
Yeah.
And they always, like, any car you got into, like, it would be playing a different radio song. So sometimes you'd be running from the cops with 4 stars and people shooting at you. And you're hearing, well, I went through the desert. And you're
like sometimes it was real stereotypical. Like you'd pull over like a Mexican dude and they'd be like, hey, what up, Vato? You're listening to the radio, hey?
If you ever want to be entertained, just walk around Grand Theft Auto and listen to what the people on the sidewalk say.
Yep.
It's super. Like a few of them, like in Grand Theft Auto 3, there's a certain guy you'd walk by and he'd go, "My mother's my sister." That's all he'd say.
My favorite thing in that is to go in first-person mode and just go around punching people.
That's good too.
Yeah, it's great.
There's another guy on San Andreas who'd say, "That essay put dust in my weed." Every time you walk by, just go listen to them. They're hilarious.
One of the cooler things too about Grand Theft Auto is like they're almost like period pieces, you know. Like Grand Theft Auto Vice City had like one of the best soundtracks too because it was all throwback. Not to mention the cars, but like
San Andreas
the music was
stuff.
excellent.
Yeah, Flock of Seagulls, dude. That I run so far. I love
yeah.
the song.
And I run. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was like a Lionel Richie song in there somewhere. I don't know.
What's real talk? They need to go back to Vice City. I miss that. That was awesome.
I love the decor. I like the style of clothing.
You know what would be dope is if Grand Theft Auto had like a point in time where you like play a flashback, like you're playing through a flashback and you're playing through present, like you keep going back and forth in timelines.
Which I think in San Andreas you do actually visit Liberty City, which is Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I never completed a Grand Theft Auto game mission wise. I never.
You should.
I mean, I just always started killing everyone. And
You've
you
triggered
just get
me.
distracted.
They're
I told
great.
you, it's fun to live out your psychopathic dreams.
It's 100% fun.
Well, I think you do that mainly because you don't want to have that life spill over into your real life,
Oh, for
right?
sure, yeah. It holds back all the murder.
And all the stuff that Peepaw, you gotta put into
Granddaddy.
He had long legs.
Granddaddy long legs.
Granddaddy had long legs and he made his belt snap real bad.
It's a belt snap. Like, wow, that's not scary at all.
Come here, Ben. Come here.
Yeah, when you do that, it makes it sound completely harmless.
He's having fun. Come here, Ben.
Come look at these long legs.
Yeah, look at these long legs.
Yeah, he's dead now.
Oh, may rest in peace.
I'll shut up.
Anyways,
See you, Granddaddy.
What are some of the soundtracks that you all enjoy?
I put them down. The Final Fantasy soundtracks, like Final Fantasy 7, 8.
What songs did those feature?
Well, sorry, not soundtracks. I guess I'm retarded.
You broke it up.
Broke it up.
Put your microphone down.
I'm just looking back at what I have on my notes, and
Answer the question!
I don't have any other soundtracks on here.
Ben?
Mortal Kombat. Who
wasn't
doesn't like a good Mortal Kombat intro?
Technically, that's a score, but it's
What?
See?
Hang on. Can I explain myself for the love of God? The Mortal Kombat theme was originally written, so it's an original song, which means it's a score, but it's spilled over into pop culture, and now it's become an actual song.
So both of us are right. Congrats.
Yeah, great.
Way to call me out for no reason, because I was also right.
Well,
Actually,
you called Scott out.
Well, he's making fun of Peepaw.
Peepaw? I
Granddaddy
thought it was Granddaddy.
I can't remember anymore. It's so foggy.
Yeah.
Can you just do an impersonation of Granddaddy Longlegs for us real quick?
No, it's a visual thing. We don't. But Mortal Kombat, I again gonna stick by that answer. Soundtracks, Guitar Hero. That's a good one, right?
Oh, dude, you know what? As weird as that answer is, that's a good
Talking
one.
about literal soundtracks. Guitar Hero Metallica, as a kid who grew up on the heavy metal,
The heavy metal?
super dope. I played it a lot. I could get it on expert. My mom could beat me on expert.
Wow.
My mom.
I left for a summer.
Moma.
And I came home, had no idea she'd learned the ropes. And I come in and she's just like, I'm like, what's up, Mom? She's like, shut your mouth.
She had blisters on her fingers.
She's just killing it. And I was like, holy shit, what have I done?
It's funny when old people really get into games.
She's not old. She's middle-aged.
Okay, whatever. My buddy Mark's dad got really into this Wii hunting game. And he said he went over to his house and he's like, well, Dad, let me play that Wii game. And he's just walking around and this like white deer came out. And his dad's like, oh my Lord, it's the white deer. Give it back to me, son. And
The albino.
yeah, the albino white deer. You finally found it.
You should have had an Oh Hi Mark sound clip. That would have been perfect. My friend's dad, Mark. Oh Hi Mark.
Oh.
Perfect the room sound blit
Anything for my princess.
for next time. And you can call me Prince.
Okay.
I trailed off.
All right, do we have anything else soundtrack-wise we want to talk about?
Soundtrack-wise, no. I mean, I don't really have a lot when it comes to mind to soundtracks, but the big ones I can think of are like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, I mean, if we're really thinking about it, and then like I didn't even think about it for a second until Ben actually said it was Guitar Hero.
It's like it's kind of a soundtrack.
It's totally a soundtrack.
I know it's
if
a
you define
soundtrack.
soundtrack, that's going to be in that.
I know, but it's a movie.
Don't make me
it's
call
a game
Granddaddy
about
Longlegs.
music. It's a game about music.
Why can't we not include it?
Well, let's include audio surf. You can put whatever audio you want on there. It has every song ever.
You're really being a bigot right now.
Anyways, so
Did we have another? I thought we had something else to cover, fellas.
E3.
Oh, some of our projections and
Well, first off, let's talk a little bit about each a major entity, if you will. We'll start off with. Does anybody here care about Nintendo?
that's a no for me.
New Super Smash Brothers supposed to be announced.
no,
Do you care
I
about
don't
that,
really
Jay?
care about
okay,
that.
then we're
no.
moving
I
on.
thought that game sucked. Bro.
PlayStation is going to be covering. They're saying that they're only bringing 4 games this year.
What?
Those 4 games are going to be Spider-Man,
Tight. I saw gameplay of that. It looked tight.
The Last
Ben,
of
stop
Us,
shaking your head.
The Last of Us Part 2,
That's a good one.
Death Stranding,
Mm-hmm.
and Ghosts of Tsushima.
That sounds cool.
Can you pronounce that again?
It's Tsushima.
Okay.
You're half Japanese. Do better.
Hada Nishao.
Habushima.
Atotashimo. This. I don't really know what. We've talked about Death Stranding, and we're pretty excited. I mean, it looks.
I'm excited, but it might be too weird.
It's a little weird.
Like, it might be too weird, though.
I think really their headline game's got to be The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, Days Gone By is going to be on supported by PS4.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
they released more. You know, it's funny you say that. They released more gameplay, and I'm just not nearly as excited as I was.
Really, I watched the video yesterday, and it was the mission was to clear the horde, and the horde's basically trapped, and you have to set them free. Well, not set them free, set them loose, and then your job is to kill them and run around, and you've got various little. And I thought it was kind of a cool idea because you've got these things that are right on your six the whole time, and you can turn around and you shoot them, but then there's bombs and stuff along the way, and I thought it was something new.
Maybe I didn't see that one.
It was 3 guys from IGN played it, and only one of them could clear it. It seemed pretty difficult. If you like difficult.
Yeah, and just go around shooting stuff.
Alex Jones in a zombie horde massacre event would be pretty dope. He would all lead us to victory against the zombie liberals.
Liberal.
He just likes that.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
But I don't know what the Ghosts one. Maybe I should have looked it up, but I don't know what that is.
Ghost of Torishima.
But The Last of Us Part 2, that's the one I'm really looking forward to,
for sure.
obviously.
Isn't that the one that they were hinting at maybe might be a Tenchu thing? The Ghost of...
No, that's FromSoft. FromSoft released a teaser if no one saw it. And Scott and I have been debating when we talk a lot. And I'm doubling down that it's Bloodborne 2, mainly because I'm selfish and I want Bloodborne 2. I could do without Tenchu, even though I think Tenchu was a really good game.
You better not say that again.
If
I got to pick one or the other, I'm going Bloodborne.
I'm going Tenchu.
You play Tenchu a lot?
Oh yeah, Tenchu is dope, dude. I love eating people poison rice.
If people don't know what Tenchu is, definitely go look it up. It's a PlayStation 1. And I think there's a game on PlayStation 2, but the OG was PlayStation 1, and you play as a ninja with a whole lot of gore. And I think From Software could do, and it was by From Software, I think that they could do a whole lot of good stuff. And if you look at the preview they released, there's a whole bunch of Japanese writing in the back, like Japanese calligraphy.
But I say debatable on that. I've really looked into it. I don't think that
just looks like my normal handwriting.
I don't know with what Tenchu. So the teaser was Bloodborne's a gothic, very bloody, gory game. It's called Bloodborne for fuck's sake. And the teaser is it's like a mechanical gear almost, and a bone in the middle, and it pulls really hard. And it's just like you see all this tension on the bone, and there's writing in the back. He says it's Japanese. A lot of the internet agrees. I say debatable.
People are saying it might be a grappling hook, which would be Tenchu-esque.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That scared me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really just hoping for Bloodborne 2 because I need more. I need more Souls.
Bloodborne.
I need more Souls.
Well, maybe Tenchu will be like Souls.
Man, fuck that. How that was real aggressive. I don't agree. I don't think you can make Tenchu like Dark Souls because it's a stealth game. I don't like stealth Souls.
Well,
I like Dark
accept
Souls.
it.
What if they came out with something that was stealth Souls?
I'd say put it away.
What if you could do either or? You could go live or... What if it was basically Dark Souls, but you can also do stealth?
That's dumb. It's been done. It's been treaded upon.
When?
All the games.
The part in Dark Souls where you're stealth?
There's lots of them, if you think about it.
Like what?
Listen, calling me out for specific examples when I'm not prepared is not fair.
Well, there's
a lot of games you can pick a street.
No, I know, but I'm saying there's no
War.
Dark Souls.
Can you do Gears of War? You didn't like Gears of War because Xbox only, huh?
No, I played through Gears of War. What part could you be stealth? That whole game you're chopping people up with a chainsaw.
Well, there's a lot of, you can hide. You don't have to go... You can't really go in guns blazing in that game.
Hitman would be a good example of one you could do.
Yeah, because you could go in like a badass and just take everybody out. Or you could pick them off one by one, like the Ultimate Predator.
Wow.
But yeah, there it goes.
Well, okay, and lastly, Xbox apparently is a big mystery to most people. They don't know what's going to come. Some people are thinking it might be Crackdown 3.
Ugh.
Yeah. Which I could care less about. Gears of War 5, or maybe something to do with Forza.
No,
Gears of War 5
I'd be into that Forza thing if it was like a Forza Horizon 4 and this time they didn't leave VW out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this week also, too, on Wednesday, they're announcing the new Battlefield.
Ooh, tell me more about that. We hinted a little bit about that on the Instagram.
Well, Battlefield B. Now, the biggest things about which I think is Battlefield 5, which would make sense because the last numbered entry technically was Battlefield 4, but there's Battlefield 1, which is kind of like a not numbered. I don't know. It's weird. But the big thing is the last couple weeks they've been releasing updates on Battlefield 1, and one of the updates you can go into a room if you do a whole bunch of shit, and in that room there is a painting of a horse that's been ran over by what looks like a Jeep or something. So the assumption and what people think it is the horse represents World War I, and the Jeep running it over represents the changing to a Jeep. or World War II. So that's the big rumor. They've done a really good job of keeping under wraps. No one else has gotten anything else on it. It's all hearsay at this point.
I'll just have my people call their people and find out.
Yeah. And the weird thing, too, is Trevor Noah is going to be the guy who announces it.
Oh, weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Trevor Noah is like the main host of whatever they're calling
Daily Show.
The Daily Show, but whatever they're calling the Battlefield release presser thing.
Is he a big gamer?
I don't think so.
Well, you just don't know him like that.
It's true.
Maybe I don't know him that well. The other big thing is EA. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for Anthem. That game looks pretty cool. Imagine like Mass Effect and Titanfall kind of look to it.
Okay. Hey, this is kind of just hit me all of a sudden, and I kind of want to remember what the game's name was. What was the name of the game where you had like the crazy cool suit? It was a first-person shooter, and these aliens landed in like New York City, and your suit was like part of your body.
Prototype, maybe?
No, Prototype was the one where you were like the crazy guy, just like the city. No civilians are left. Like it's like you against these aliens. You were like a giant black dude, and you had the suit on, and the suit became like interwoven with your body. It was really fun.
I don't know what you're talking about.
God, it had a really good score. It made me think of it. For further episodes,
Wait, it was PlayStation 2 or something?
I think it was 3 or 4. It was the graphics were insane. It was definitely a new-ish game, past 5 years, I'd say.
Oh, wow.
It was a sequel. The first one was like a download-only game, and then the sequel came out, and it was like full hard disk. Like,
I don't know.
I'm gonna figure that out, boys.
Just Google black guy with big suit. See what comes up.
It's just Shaquille O'Neal. This isn't what I wanted.
Steel.
I think that's... The Division 2.
No.
I'm excited for that game, because the Division over time got a lot better. Like, if you go back and revisit it. That
Just like No Man's Sky.
No, but No Man's Sky, I'm pretty sure, is still going to be horrible.
I'll give it a shot.
Why not? You already own the game.
Yeah, that's true. I'm the only person that does anymore.
I think those are really the big things.
It's like when they buried the ET game, the Atari game, and
Yeah, they actually did
they
that.
just buried it in the desert.
There's
might
a
as well.
documentary on that.
I feel like there was another game that we were that we should have talked about. I think that everybody's already seen all of the trailers for it, and I don't know if there's been gameplay released yet, but Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, that's a huge
October,
one.
right?
It wouldn't surprise me to see a whole bunch of actual gameplay on that.
Yeah.
I think pretty much Crisis.
Remember?
Memby?
I don't remember. I don't remember it. Like I know exactly. That was a weird way to describe Crisis.
Look up Crisis 2 gameplay and tell me it doesn't look good. It's a beautiful game.
I know it looks good. It was famous for.
It's a good looking game.
It was famous for being really hard to run on your PC. So, Crisis.
Well,
What did you Google?
Let's see. To find the answer to my query. I'm saying that right.
Wait, you're Googling the for that game that you had no idea what you're talking about?
Yeah, I googled it. First person shooter about black dude who wore suit against aliens. Hey, look what Google gave me. My answer.
There you go.
So how I described it seemed to be a bit accurate.
Dang, that was pretty good, man. Good job,
good. I'm pretty
Google.
impressed.
Yeah, man, I gave it I did not give it many clues, and I was just like, I got you.
So, lastly, kind of to round the show out, is there a game you guys want to see at E3 that there's been no hint of? Like a game where you're like, I just really want to play a game. I mean, yours might be Bloodborne 2.
Well, that
we've seen
or
nothing on
if they
Bloodborne.
just surprised the ever-loving shit out of us with Dark Souls 4. Like, I knew they wouldn't because they just did Dark
A
Souls
Demon
3.
Souls remake. I know they can't do it, but a Demon Souls remake would...
I would be grateful. Even though I would like a sequel to Demon Souls. I think it would be cool just to bridge off because it's not Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
It's real close, but it's not. It still has its own crazy mechanics.
Yeah, no, for sure.
These are games that we haven't heard any hints or any... Okay.
Correct. Or even, like, if you... Like, the release of hardware or something. Like, you want to see PlayStation 5 or something.
Well, that won't happen.
I know. But I'm saying, what would you want to see?
Shit.
GameCube 2. Even worse than last time.
No, I'd like to see... I'd like to see a Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
A good one.
A good one.
Okay.
Not a Tony Hawk Ride.
Skate, which was one of the most
No,
addictive
dude.
games.
He hates Skate for some reason.
No.
Why would you hate Skate?
I don't get it. I had loved Skate.
That was so. You must have never skateboarded because you're a New Jack loser. But
Oh, that was aggressive.
All right, okay, guys. All right.
But
No,
you're-
I just didn't like it because it.
You sucked at it?
Well, partially, I did suck at. All right, stop.
I love how you can break bones.
See,
There's
they
that
hate
mission
you.
where you can break bones.
Well, that's the thing. The game, it was a hard game, but it was very rewarding once you learn the mechanics. And like most things that you said you don't like, you just admitted you weren't good at
No.
them. So
Well, no, but this one specifically I don't like because it took all of like the in the moment sort of gameplay out of it. Like whatever, I want to be able to hit a button combination and make these crazy tricks.
pathetic.
Pathetic.
But that's basically what I want to see too. So
Skate.
skate, I'd love to see skate. That'd be awesome.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skate
Or
and
would
then
you-
all caps and combine them both.
Or would you like to see a new fighting game?
I'm not big on fighting games like you are.
I'm not
Oh,
really
I mean
either.
like a boxing or UFC.
Yeah, well, we already talked about that in the sports one. What
Right.
I would like to see actually is they have Madden on mobile. What I want to see is NFL head coach on mobile, because back in the day they made an NFL head coach game where all you did is call the plays. I think that would work really well for a mobile game.
You know what I think would be cool to see? That talking about nobody announcing anything in the new age of gaming. Let's do another Battletoads.
Oh yeah,
The last one was on
Great
Super
Master.
Nintendo.
Yeah, hard as hell, like crazy difficulty spike. Every level you go up, like that would be fun and challenging on the new age consoles.
Or like a PlayStation 1 classic. That would be cool to see. You could buy this PlayStation 1. It has like Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, like all the best PlayStation 1 games just all in one little thing.
Cool Borders.
Cool Borders.
I liked that game. I liked it a lot.
It was a great game.
It was great. I liked it. Loved
Diddy
it.
Kong Racing.
It was good.
That was a good one.
What was the one game that was like you basically rode a jet ski, but it was like future jet ski?
Jet Moto.
Yeah, that
Ah,
one was dope.
nice.
That had a
That
good
was
soundtrack,
quick.
too. That had a
I
good
love that
soundtrack.
game. Yeah, what had
I don't think it was any specific artist. It was just dope music. You were
no, they
like,
had some like Black Eyed Peas, I think, and stuff.
I don't think I like that.
Ben likes Black Eyed Peas.
I am
That
from
song,
the South.
that song from Pulp Fiction, is on. I can't remember what the name of that song is.
Maybe it did have legit songs. I don't know, fellas. Did you ever do this when you were a kid? I would upload all my own. I would upload my own CDs and then like play Tony Hawk and listen to, like Kill Switch Engage.
No.
and
Yep.
Wasn't
stuff.
that cool?
Yep, I did that.
Dude, whenever like that band like the
Oh, Disturbed?
I think of playing Tomb Raider because I used to play Tomb Raider 2 and play Disturbed because I was in 5th grade and a loser, and I would I would get my Lara Croft on, and that's all I think about now. So fun fact, you guys know.
I thought that was going to get much more embarrassing and much more dark for us.
No, I can tell your eyebrows. You're like, what? What's coming next, y'all? And then I ruined it. So.
So, with that being said, I think that maybe we want to give a couple shout-outs, perhaps. I think my biggest shout-out that I did at the beginning, I just want to do it again. Javad, you're the homie. Like,
You're a real homie, Javad.
Yeah,
Beautiful
day
smile.
one dude. Great smile. Love it.
Yeah, you have a shout out? Do you have any shout outs, Benold?
No, I'm just glad to be back, fellas. Thanks for having me.
We're kind of glad to have you back.
And
Kinda.
shout out to my boy Patrick again. He always listens to every episode and actually texts me after. Shout out to my boy Robert. Like the episode goes up at 5 and he's texted me at like 7. Like,
Robert.
No,
The
Shout
wagon
out.
maker.
not him.
Oh, I gave last names. We might have to. Might have to cut that. No, don't cut it. Bob sucks.
Whatever.
Let the world know his name.
And then shout out to Raven. She's been really posting a lot on our Facebook as well.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
And if you guys have anything that you want to shout out to us, please follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, email us at PBTpod@gmail.com, and for the love of God, rest in peace, Granddaddy Long Live.
I miss you, Granddaddy. I miss you.